Hello, I'm Jeff Bloodrain, and welcome back to Tailor Tales. So we are on Chapter 7 of Neil's storyline. Today, Sarah decided to come over to take some pictures with me. I used her skills as a photographer, to get the best shots of my clothing line. Then we used them to advertise my boutique by spreading flyers. It has been working pretty well, and me and Sarah are just now wrapping up another photo shoot that took place in my back room. We had a model pose for the pictures, but I put on a few outfits myself as well. It was fun. I am in love with the Cyan 20D, she says, as she looks through the viewfinder of her recently purchased camera. I'm sure you've been non-stop gushing about it since you got it, I replied. I know, but you don't understand how great it is. The picture quality is amazing, and it's the most compact and lightweight camera yet in the series. I wonder if you can get her camera in real life. I simply smile at Sarah as she goes off on all the technical details about her camera. I don't really understand much about it, but I'm grateful Sarah helps me stage photo shoots to show off my clothes. Without her, I don't know if I'd get any customers visiting the store at all. You know, looking at your pictures, you should simply be a model instead. You got the right height for it and a pretty face. I smile sheepishly, I don't know what that means, at Sarah for the compliment. I prefer making the clothes, instead of wearing it. I'm only doing this for the publicity. I know. I'm not complaining though, at least you're a friendly face. Most of my customers are vain models, who think they're the hottest thing on earth. Divas in the making. They'll even try to get me to work for them for free for exposure, they say. Sarah shakes her head in disagreement, then goes back to looking through her camera lens. There's a creep staring at us. I bet you it's Neil. I blink at her. Excuse me? She fixes the zoom on her lens, still looking through the viewfinder. Yeah, purple here, yep. Yeah, purple would do, right outside looking at you. Isn't that the same guy from the cafe? She snaps the picture. I whip my head around and look over near the windows, but don't see anyone. There isn't anyone there. Are you sure you saw someone? Dang, that's close up. She walks up to me and shows the LED screen of her camera. It has the last picture she took displayed on it. See? The picture quality is so great that I can see with 100% certainty that it is Neil who's standing in front of my store, shooting his eyes from the sun to get a better look. Stalker. His face looks oddly weird. I'm confused. Why is he peeking through my window? It's not friendly it. Isn't it the same guy from the cafe? He's been harassing you. Has he been harassing you? Asked Sarah. Want me to beat him up for you? Okay, Sarah, we don't need to take it that far. Oh no need. I pause. I think. Sarah watches me carefully. A bumpkin like you don't even recognize a dangerous situation even if it hit you in the face. We're city folk here. It's different. How different? Sarah shrugs her shoulders at me. Dangerous. We get creeps here, just like prowling around, looking for some pretty girl they can get their hands on. I frown at her, and an odd chill run down my back. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Neil doesn't seem to be like that, I think. I only feel the sting of his words sometimes. Sarah puts her finger up in my face, like a warning. See, that negativity is going to get you in trouble someday. Just be careful, okay? If someone's bothering you, let me know. I smile at her and give her a light slap on the arm. You just want to be a hero for the pretty girl. Sarah grins at me. You know it. She tucks her camera inside of her bag. Anyways, I'll send you the pictures once I edit them. How do you edit pictures? I'm sure they turned out quite awesomely. She sighs longly. The sigh in 2D, my true love. Get a room, I joke. Sarah winks at me, then says goodbye. Once she's gone, I wonder about what she said about creeps and whatnot. Is it really that dangerous in this city? I haven't really felt uncomfortable or scared at all so far. Neil isn't dangerous. Although I do question why he was outside my store just now. As he has no reason to be there. Not until Friday anyways. Maybe he's keeping an eye on you. Maybe he's a stalker or something. I decided to head outside my store and have a look around, but I see no one. It's quite puzzling why Neil was just there a moment ago. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe he did one of those things where he's there and he quickly disappeared when a car passed. I head back inside. I've got better things to do. Time passes as I continue tending to my clothes, and eventually I place the close sign at the entrance and turn off the lights. Today was an okay day for business. I hope the pictures that Sarah took will help me out and boost my sales. I'll just need to spread the flyers around myself once I've got them printed. Back at Cafe La blah blah blah. Wanting to take a well-deserved break, I head over to the cafe. Neil's going to be in there. The sun is setting in the background, making everything look nice and calming orange. As soon as I reach the cafe, I spot someone familiar in the distance. Told you. Their eyes bulge out a little bit as I realize it's Neil. No way. Is Sarah right? Is he some creep stalking me? I stop walking, almost considering to turn around and walk the other way, but then someone else enters the scene. A nurse emerges from the hospital next to the cafe, running over towards Neil, waving a clipboard at him. He turns around to address the nurse, as they seem to be heavily engaged into some kind of dispute. There's some heated words being thrown around, and I can tell Neil does not want to be there. Eventually, Neil signs something on the clipboard and quickly paces away from the nurse. Of course, that also means he's heading straight towards me. When he finally notices me, I see genuine surprise on his face, but it's immediately replaced by an angry frown. Ah, great. Another incompetent person who always messes up, and I thought I was already finished with work. Neil snaps at me. I'm taken aback at his words and sarcasm. It's not like I warrant the kind of response by simply being near him in his presence. Yeah, you happen to just show up at the wrong time, pal, so I haven't done anything yet. Tell him off for creeping around your boutique earlier today. Ask him why he's so angry. Giving him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he was just having a bad day. I decide to ask him about the nurse. Are you angry because of something that the nurse said? That nurse said? Neil simply gives me a loud and disgruntled huff. That's none of your business. I'm getting sick of hearing Neil say it's none of my business. You know, well, if you're going to come around my store, it's going to be my business. Well, whatever happened, you did need to take it out of me. Imagine after a long day at work, trying to fix someone else's mess, you come across another incompetent person who's been known to make a mess before. Of course I'm not going to be in a very jolly mood. Here's an idea. Stop coming around this area then. He's acting like I'm some kind of stampeding bull in a China store, just a walking disaster waiting to happen. I don't like how tense the music got when he showed up. He just happened to be witness to 2 accidents caused by me. That doesn't mean I'm like this all the time. Well, we all make mistakes, I say shyly. Your mistake cost me $6,000. He grunts. You said you got reimbursed for that. I fire back. Neil's golden eyes narrow at me, and I could see he's trying to hold himself back from showing too much emotion. He takes in a deep breath, closing his eyes entirely. And they would very much like to know who the idiot was that broke it in the first place. So they can send you the bill instead. Now, unless you'd like to pay the $6,000 bill, I suggest you hold your tongue and do as I say on Friday. I'm gonna punch him. I look down at the pavement, feeling angry but unable to speak, as I know he's in the right, and I hate it. Instead of saying another word, I simply shoot him a dirty look. Have a nice evening, Miss Hearth. Neil briskly walks away, and I'm left behind, feeling irritated once more. What a jerk. Alright, here we are, Chapter 8. We're cruising right along with Neil's story. The pictures that Sarah took of me last week turned out pretty well. They even got a lot of traction on social media and boosted my sales somewhat. Not by any substantial amount, but enough to see a difference. Sarah has had to deal with me ranting about a certain jerk with no manners these past couple days. He was simply so rude to me that day. It still leaves me fumming? I don't know. Maybe he was always like this. You know, some people are just rude people in general. I've come to learn in real life, guys, that why people are rude usually has nothing to do with you. It's usually something to do with them. And a lot of people, hey, I just noticed, it says welcome. Anyways, a lot of people struggle with their own insecurities in real life and struggles that they tend to just take it out on other people who don't deserve it. So, it's probably not her, it's just probably Neil himself. Or maybe he's just mad because he found out the boy he was hanging out with all those years ago is now a girl. Of course, Sarah offered to beat him up for me again, and this time I almost took her up on her offer, but I'd rather not give him more fuel to blackmail me. I'd do almost anything to see him get knocked down a peg or two. Also, I didn't know where Neil lived or worked for a while until Sarah reminded me of his last name, Forster. The Forsters own the hospital, so I guess Neil must work there if I always seem to run into him in the surrounding area. Well, you're right next to the hospital in the cafe, so that makes sense. Nonetheless, realizing where he works doesn't matter much to my current predicament, because today is Friday. Yep, Neil was supposed to be coming over for his measurements, and I'm not looking forward to this one bit. Better have Sarah there as backup. Is he going to be snappy towards me again, insult me like last time? I really don't want to find out. Yep, it is. The bell jingle disturbs me from my thoughts, and I look up at the entrance. It's just another customer, I sigh. That's just a customer. I help my customer buy a dress, and once more I'm left alone in the store. It's a slow day. My eyes dart over towards my childhood pictures, and I recall the time I met Neil when he was just a little boy. He seemed so sweet and scared back then, nothing like what he is right now. Maybe his parents raising him the way they proper maybe turned him into this. Who knows? Now he's just a spoiled rich brat who doesn't know how to exercise common decency, I huff. A feeling of dread wells up in my stomach the longer the hours tick by. It's closing time, and I've already put up the close sign, and Neil hasn't shown up. Oh. Even if I wanted to berate him for being late, there's no way to contact him. It's not like I have his phone number. I'm not sure I even want his phone number. Of course, he has the nerve to show up right as I'm closing. You're late, I say. Neil fixes the cuffs of his sleeves as he walks over to the counter. typical rich boy. A habit he seems to keep repeating. I don't remember agreeing on an appointment time slot for today. I'm not in the mood for this, as it clearly shows on my face. Neil simply exhales loudly. Let's just get this started. I adjusted towards the back where my sewing room is located. The sooner I can get this over with, the sooner I can have Neil out of my hair. We never got to see the back room. We both walk in this awkward silence, and once I shut the door behind me, it's just me and Neil in this tiny, cramped sewing room. Honestly, what have I gotten myself into? Neil stands in the middle. I wonder what would happen if she wouldn't have met him. Surveying everything with a critical eye. And I wish I had taken the time to clean up and organize everything before he could judge me for being messy. He just sounds like he's judgmental all around. I walk towards my crafting table and pick up my sketchbook along with a pencil. First things first. Get a design he likes. Alright, can you tell me a little bit about what the kind of blazer you'd like? I say in a broad voice. Elegant, simple, streamlined, the most expensive and durable fabric, dark gray, and in other words, perfection. Neil gives me a firm nod. My pencil hits the sketchbook. I'm not really going to pay any mind to the most expensive fabric part, nor the perfection part, but at least I've got something to work with. I quickly sketch out a regular blazer, one of the most popular patterns. Neil wags his finger at me. No. Don't you think I'd be okay with commonly store-bought blazers? No, try harder. It needs more finesse. Yeah, of course it does. Mark his demands, asking for more detail. So, what exactly do you have in mind? I ask in an exasperated voice. Would you like a secret pocket or something to hold all of your cash? This makes Neil exhale air through his nose. He chuckled. I can't believe he chuckled. I think I can live without a secret pocket full of cash. But thank you for the idea. He looks amused. Well then, what is it? Would you like a different pattern? I've got several to work from. I'd like more shape to it. So you'd like to be more fitted. Alright, I can work with that. Alright, I can work that into the design. Nearly determined, I get back to sketching out several blazer designs. I tried to put an elegant twist on it, hoping to satisfy his outrageous demands. When I finished a few, I showed him to Neil, turning the sketchbook towards him. It's almost as if I'm waiting for his approval or praise, and that kind of bugs me. His golden eyes glaze over the paper, expecting the design. He's got an interested look on his face as he leans closer over the table. If you could. Neil then tries to go for the pencil in my hand. His fingers brush over mine, and he immediately jerks back. Ooh, things are getting... Knocking the pencil out of my hand. I think he secretly likes us. He's just too shy to say it. It lands on the floor with a dull thud. He quickly bends down to grab it without another word. I wonder what that was about. Is he touching me so below him? Or something? I don't know that doesn't make any sense. I stare down when he gets back up with the pencil. He tries to pass off like nothing has happened, and then makes a few adjustments on some of my sketches, albeit in a very childish way. Do you like this one? Neil places down the pencil. Alright, we'll read one more, or a couple more. There are weird doodles all over my original sketch. You are definitely the next Picasso, I say sarcastically. I wouldn't have to be if you got it right the first time, Neil fires back, crossing his arms. Now, something like this is to my taste. I'm going to presume you don't have much high quality fabrics laying around here. So I want to sample the fabric before you can purchase it. Do you want me to send it over to you with priority? Yes, I'd like that. I was just joking. I didn't know you could joke. And Neil and I stared at each other for a while as tension building up between us. He's got this poker face on, and it's hard to guess what's going on in his mind. And with that being said, we are going to end this episode of Tailor Tales here. I'm Jeff Bugling. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you next time.